are at Shelters by Jesus podcast, and we are so excited that you're with us, you're watching, you're listening, you're hitting subscribe, you're hitting like, you're sharing with your friends, because that brings money in. And if you want to help get people off the street, you go to sheltersbyjesus.com. If you'd like to give, it's $9. We'll get somebody off the street. We also have 4 books out written by the dumb hick from Skowhegan, me. And they have 2 prices, $10 are free. And you put your name and address right there and tell if you want books 1, 2, 3, or 4, all of them, we'll mail them right out to you. You also can call the office at 207-474-8833 and give them your name and address there, and they'll ship it. But the other thing you can do is get a tour. When you call that number, say, I'd like a tour, and you'll meet the residents. You'll see everything we have. And we're just excited about you being a part of this. So now, on to the podcast.
All right,
And Pastor's here.
So you can start whenever you're ready, Pastor.
All right. Well, we want to welcome everybody. We're excited to have you watch our podcast. We went down to Lewiston, Maine, to meet with some homeless. It's been very difficult. We had a flood, so it's been very difficult to find encampments. And actually, there wasn't an encampment. They was gathered around, walking around the park and all kinds of places. So anyway, we went down. We found a place. We had a trailer load of stuff, and we had quite the experiences down there. And Seth, what did you think of the experience in Lewiston?
Well, like you said, we recently had a huge storm that basically, it was bad. How many? I don't know. 500,000 lost power, something like that.
It was a horror show.
And it flooded. Our downtown area was flooded. Bridge was overtaken. And it happened everywhere. And, the weird thing is a lot of the encampments were on low ground.
Yep.
So they were destroyed, absolutely destroyed. People didn't even have a chance to get their stuff. And I can remember driving, I think it was a couple days before we left, driving to Waterville and seeing a bunch of them under a bridge all huddled together, shaking. And that broke my heart. And then I told you, I said, well, where did you want to go? Because I knew you wanted to go. And you said, well, I want Lewiston, Auburn. So my wife and I went and we scouted it out.
Right.
And we looked for encampments. All the encampments were gone. And the homeless people we did talk to said that they're scattered. Yep. There's no encampment at the moment. So I'm like, well, where do you guys congregate anywhere? And that place in Lewiston by the park, the Jubilee Center.
Yep.
You're blocking his face.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's where they hang out. And so, but it was plenty of parking when we went down. I remember that. And then when we go down as Shelters by Jesus, there's no parking anywhere.
No.
So we kept circling the block. And finally you guys spoke to the Lewiston Police Department, and they made arrangements for you to go up to the church and park up there at the Jubilee Center. I can remember the bitter, bitter cold. I can remember my feet, my toes freezing and being like, you know how you get really cold and they're painful?
Yes.
And being able to get in my truck and put the heater on just so it could heat up my toes.
Yep.
And then go back out. But I'm sitting here thinking, what about the ones who were there who
I don't know where they went.
24/7.
Yeah.
Bad.
You know that they're losing toes. And
Yeah, I did the same thing. I lost feeling in mine. That's why I wouldn't get the truck, because I couldn't feel my toes.
Yeah. And it was wonderfully orchestrated chaos.
That's what it was. That's a good way of putting it.
It
worked. That's what it comes down to. It worked.
Yeah. Throw Plan A out the window, because
Oh.
Plan A never works.
Nope.
Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D usually have to come into play. We didn't have a lot of space, so we couldn't put out the normal amount of stuff.
Right.
But everyone got jackets. Everyone got Christmas stockings. Everyone got food. Everyone got hot dogs, hot soup.
Dunkin' Donuts, coffee, and donuts,
coffee.
bro.
Dunkin' Donuts jumped right on board with us.
Baby, that's the good stuff right there, brother.
It's my favorite coffee.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when they say, "Oh, you got coffee? Can I have some?" Yeah, it's Dunkin'. It's Dunkin'?
Yeah.
Yeah, just slide on.
Oh yeah, they want that coffee twice as bad at that point.
Yeah.
But it was freezing cold.
It was nasty.
Freezing cold. And that's like remember the first time we went to Lewiston, Auburn? It was a torrential
pouring
downpour.
rain.
But we
And
stayed.
cold.
We stayed, and we helped them.
Yep.
Because if they have to be out in it, we're going to be out in it.
Yep.
Because even if we're only out in it for an hour or two,
We're doing it to help them.
they're out in it 24 hours a day.
right. Yep.
And so we could put up with the freezing cold, right, for a couple hours.
And they were amazed what we had. I love the fact you mentioned the coffee, because one guy walks by me and I said, "Would you like some coffee?" He saw the Dunkin' Donuts stuff up there and he goes, "I guess not." And he takes about 3 or 4 steps, turns around and says, "Well, okay, how much is it?" And I go, "No, it's free. The coffee, the donuts, all the stuff we had laid out there, because you had hot dogs and you had, all these boxes
Soups
of
and
stuff,
everything,
you
yeah.
name it."
Mhm.
And I said, "Yeah, help yourself." And he goes, "Who are you people?" I go, "We're Shelters by Jesus. We're a mobile unit. Come here from Skowhegan to help." And the look on his face, his eyes bugged out like somebody just goosed him.
Yeah.
It was like he could not believe that. Now, you had an experience with the lady.
Yeah, I met this woman. She was there because, of course, I was we went down to Auburn, and we were there in the pouring rain, like Pastor said and said.
That was like 4 months before this.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was freezing cold this time, but she came to me and she said, "You were here. You were here. I remember you. You were here in the pouring rain, and now you're here in the freezing cold because you love us and you care about us, and when nobody else does." And it just really touched my heart, because what do you say to that? I mean, what do you say to that? Here you have somebody that's homeless, that's out in all of this, but remembers you from out of everybody that they come in contact with during the day or whenever. And I didn't remember her, but she remembered me.
Right.
And it just touched my heart. And she was like, she got herself a Christmas stocking, and she needed hand warmers. And then she didn't remember where she put the hand warmers. So she said, "Can I have another Christmas stocking?" And I said, "Absolutely." And then she told me a story that she had a friend of hers coat, but it didn't zip up. And she said, I said, "Well, come over here, let's get a coat." And she was able to get a coat. And she said, "Well, now I can give this coat back to him. And now I have a coat." And she was just like, it was like you had given her $1 million.
Yeah.
And just to see that 20 minutes of happiness was like worth $1 million to me. I mean, I I was cold, but you know what? They're cold. They don't have what we have, the ability.
You were the one cooking the hot dogs.
Yeah, I was the one cooking the hot dogs, and they don't have that ability to get warm, to feel better about it.
They love them hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, they
The
do.
hot dogs
Oh, yeah, they do.
Everywhere we go.
Big hit.
They
Everywhere
are
we
a
go.
big.
Yeah.
And that's just sheer joy to me. It's just and they said they're just so grateful, because we do what nobody else has cared to or has thought to do for them, and to them that's just wonderful to them, and they couldn't be happier or more blessed.
I do want to give a shout out real quick, Pastor, to that church in Mexico.
Yeah, go for it. I was going to tell you to do that anyway.
For the life of
Because
me,
that's weird, man.
his name's not coming to my mind, mostly because I'm tired today. But his church
It
had
was the First Baptist Church in Mexico.
in Mexico. They had collected food stuff because they were going to do this themselves for the people in the Rumford Island.
They had an island in Rumford that only homeless were on.
But the storm came and wiped them out,
Cleaned out the island.
and they navigated to Lewis and Auburn.
Yes.
And
And
the way God worked was He honored their heart for the homeless,
Yep.
and it came to us, and we went to Lewis and Auburn and took care of the Rumford people that they intended to begin with.
And you had a chance to fill the trailer.
Oh,
you
man.
did fix it up inside. You want to share a little bit about the trailer?
Yeah, so we got the trailer from that men's group in
Littleton, New Hampshire.
Littleton, New Hampshire. And thank you, gentlemen, for giving that
Thank
to
you.
us. That changed everything.
Jeff and the boys.
That changed everything.
It did.
We were able to fully load a trailer, and we built the inside. We built shelves and storage bins and everything inside, so everything stayed neat.
Yep.
And didn't fall over or spill. The soups, I built a bay for the soups.
Yep.
For the clothes.
So it was pretty cool.
We're
Man.
installing a lighting system
Yep.
In the next couple days, and a heating system, and we're looking to get a tent to extend it.
Yep.
So that we can pull the tables out and still be under cover.
And have a heater in there
And
so
have a
people
heater.
can sit down and have a hot cup of coffee
Hot
where
cup
it's
of coffee
warm.
and soup, right?
This is wild, man.
Yeah. So, but the trailer made a huge difference. Huge difference. And what a quality trailer too. Because like you said, it was full.
Oh.
It was full.
You're talking 7 by 14 feet.
Full.
That's a lot of square footage.
And you hauled it like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah, that thing was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got a dual axle
Trailer.
aluminum light trailer.
Yep.
Oh, it's a blessing.
So yeah, that was a huge blessing from the men in New Hampshire, and I wanted to say thank you again, Jeff, and the
Thank
guys,
you.
And they'll see this too. So
because that made all the difference.
and
But
all that stuff in the trailer is donated by you folks. Most of you
Yeah.
are watching.
yeah,
So
Thank you for your donations.
When you hear the story like Lynn shared, understand we got that stuff to give them because you give. Because
right.
thing to remind everybody is we're still faith based.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We didn't have money to go out and buy all this stuff. No. A lot of it came from everything in our trailer, and the truck and all that stuff came from you, from the people who support us. You made it possible for us to go out and give them hot hamburger soup, hot chicken noodle soup, hot Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Thank you, Dunkin' Donuts.
Amen.
And the plates, all this stuff that came from the Mexico church. We thank you for that. The clothes came from everybody.
That came from everywhere.
We had people give us financial donations so we could purchase a couple things, but then we have this amazing man in Connecticut, Jeff Hodges,
the man
who comes up every single time. And you know what I love about Jeff? He'll buy all this food, right? But it's not like no-name food.
Oh, no.
It's like high quality, like the stuff you buy your family at home.
If you can afford it.
If you can afford it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's brand name stuff, and he gives it out, and he's proud to give it out to them.
Oh, man.
And what an amazing time too, because we had people coming up. I remember this guy came up to the back of the truck, and he was so touched that he could get free food. I got two littles, and I'm always out looking for food for my kids.
Absolutely.
And he was able to. And Jeff doesn't give you, here's one can of this. Here's a case of this and a case of this. You know, and you have kids. Well, here's 6 jars of jelly and 6 jars and 10 loaves of bread, and just like, I mean, that guy left. I'm surprised he was able to carry all that food away. But Jeff Hodges, he's half this ministry.
Oh yeah.
If we didn't have Jeff and his love for people, and what I love about Jeff is when he talks about the folks he helps, he calls them my people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna feed my people, and he's serious about that. Yep. I don't think I'd want to badmouth them to Jeff.
No,
it
would be pleasant.
He'd be very upset. And he does love them. He does love them, absolutely, and he makes friends with them, and he talks to them.
Yep.
You know, so this was Lewiston. It was freezing cold on the outside, but warm as heck on the inside.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. And the Christmas stockings. I wish those that donated towards it could have seen them. They peeking in like kids seeing us in there. One lady, she had 2 of them. She went back and forth, and she looked in one, she looked down, and she says, "I like the contents of that because they're all different. They're not the same." And she says, "But this one has a hat on top, like John's hat here. What do you call them?
The knit hats,
knit hats. Had that, and she wanted the hat, but she wanted the stuff was in the other stocking." And I said, "Well, take both of them." She goes, "I could have 2 of them?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah." And she grabbed them like she was grabbing a baby, just hugged those stockings.
I love it.
And John, you got a story about the bathrooms. You got to tell that one. That's an awesome story.
Oh, yeah. We went, when we were there to the church that we were parked in, and one of the guys wanted to use the bathroom, and they turned him away. They said, "We don't."
Wasn't a homeless guy, one of our guys.
Yeah, it wasn't a homeless guy. It was just
me.
Yeah, and they were like, "Our bathroom is not for public, it's for homeless only."
Right.
So we were like, "Well, we like it. That's great." So we had to walk about a quarter mile to use the bathroom.
Isn't that funny? Like we're not upset. We're like, wow. How cool is that? Because public places turn away the homeless. Yeah. No, you can't use my bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, but Jubilee's like, fine, you can't use our bathroom.
I know it.
I love it.
That was the coolest story when he come and told me. I didn't know it. They told me. I said, "What?"
Yeah,
I
so
wouldn't want them to use our bathroom.
What's that?
If Jubilee came here, I would shit in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Well, no, but I see their point, and I'm proud of them for that.
absolutely.
Yeah, prioritize the homeless.
Because all over town, the only place that the homeless are welcome to use the bathroom is there,
Right.
and they're saying, okay, they can't use your bathroom, you can't use this bathroom.
Hey.
I love that.
I was right with
I
it.
absolutely love
Yep.
it. There's tons of other bathrooms, and we found some to go
Yep.
to.
Yep.
But
Nice quarter-mile walk
City
away.
Hall
Yeah.
took me, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
happy.
it was awesome. And Eric, you did a lot of toting around there.
I did.
So what do you think about being there and lugging the stuff around and helping everybody?
Like everyone said, it was cold, but we brought warmth to the homeless, and that's good enough for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I tell you, for those that don't go to one of these, you're really missing the boat. If you ever get a chance to go with us or somebody else is going to an encampment or going out and doing whatever, you want to jump on it now. The folks from Gorham just come up with something different because they're going to the encampments in Portland. The encampments got wiped out. So what they're doing now, they're putting backpacks together, asking people to fill them, and they're going around Portland looking for people that are homeless. And they just give them a backpack. So they're traveling because they can't go to one spot because they're not at one spot anymore. But, you use your imagination. If you want to serve the homeless, you can serve the homeless. There's ways to come up with that. So,
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think we should do that. We should gather up some backpacks and stuff, at least until the encampments begin to settle down again.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that way, if we meet people, we can just hand them right out the window. Hey, I know you're cold, but here's some stuff.
Or
It
do
is
what we
coming.
did before, the backpacks, but instead of the stockings, backpack and the hot
Yeah.
dogs or burgers or
I like the Christmas stockings. That was
They
good.
do.
Oh, they did. They
Oh,
absolutely
that
love
was
them.
it.
yeah.
Seth, would you ask me to be a little quiet up the
Sure.
hallway there? Apologize for that if you guys are watching, and we got people that don't know we're doing a podcast.
Quiet down,
it's,
Rob.
it's a little loud out there, so we want to make sure you hear what we got to say, and we're excited that you keep watching our podcast.
Thank
And,
you.
especially those of you that subscribing and hitting like because we've got so much out there now.
It helps to bring
last
money
month we had over 40,000 listening minutes.
in. Wow.
And that's you
awesome.
guys.
Yeah.
Every one of you
Yeah.
listening is adding it up, and that helps us. That brings money in to help us buy stuff for the homeless.
Yep.
And so, anyway, we're excited. We don't know where we're headed next. We're talking Bangor, but it could be anywhere. We call around and find out where there's a group that we can get to, but we'll be loading back up. Jeff Hodges told me before I left. He says, "Let me know when the next one comes. I'm coming up." He's coming from East Hartford, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
So he's driving from Connecticut in one of these trips.
Yeah.
And
I know he doesn't want us talking about how much
he
spends
hates
and
having
all
talked
that.
about him, but I'm going to talk about him anyway.
But I absolutely, what an inspiration he is. What an inspiration.
The other thing down there, we all packed up to leave, and Jeff said some of them said they were going to drop the stuff off and come back. And so he hung around for like 20 minutes afterwards, waiting for them to make a return trip. He said, "I ain't taking anything back with me. They're going to get it all."
Yep.
And then he called me when he pulled out. So he's about 20 minutes behind us,
Yeah.
but it was just, you said they were waiting for them to return. There was nobody for us to give anything to,
Right.
but that was Jeff. He just hung on.
Yep.
So this whole ministry is just taking on a life of its own.
I just want to say, we talk about it a lot. You've had a lot of sermons about it, Pastor, that when we started this ministry, we didn't know what we were doing. We had no idea, right? We made a bunch of sandwiches,
Peanut butter.
peanut butter and jelly
Yeah, that's
sandwiches.
it.
I think we made 200 sandwiches.
That's all we had, though.
Right, and we took like 400 bottles of water because water's cheap. It's like $3.
Well, we had a
for
tractor trailer drop a load
a
off
whole
before that.
bunch off. Yeah,
So the building was full of water.
yeah, and we loaded up the back of your pickup truck.
Yep.
And we took 2 vehicles, and we just drove to Portland, and that's how it started. And I'm going to tell you, I know there's some of you who watch us, who support us, and thank God for you. But don't let that be all you do. I mean, it's easy. It's scary at first because, where do I find a homeless person? If you've never worked with a homeless, then it can be intimidating. I respect that. I respect it. But if we hadn't loaded up the truck and just gone and trusted God, it certainly wouldn't be the beautiful orchestra of chaos it is today. And God got us a trailer. He got us people who support that ministry specifically,
He
like
got us
Jeff
Jeff.
Hodges. He brought everything we needed. God supplied it all, and all we had to do was just be faithful and keep doing it. And it continues to grow. It's still growing.
Yeah, and some churches are pulling together down in Portland. You got South Wyndham.
Yep.
And
Oxford.
Grace Fellowship in Oxford,
Yep.
along with Gorham. Gorham's the head one,
Yep.
but the others are supporting them. There's a couple from the South Wyndham Church
Yep.
that go in there every
Isn't that
Saturday
cool?
themselves.
Isn't that
So
cool?
it's growing and growing and growing. And if you go, well, I don't know where to go by myself, check and find out somebody that's going, a group that's going, a church is going,
Yep.
and just go with them.
The
once.
biker church
It's
in
in,
Monmouth.
Monmouth.
They go to
what's that
Augusta.
called? South Monmouth or whatever.
Yeah, well, yes, South Monmouth. No, North Monmouth, right?
No, North
No,
Monmouth
South
is where
Monmouth Community, like
South Monmouth, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, South Monmouth. But anyway, it's a bikers church. You can go online and go to Monmouth.
And
look
they
for the
do
biker
things in
church.
Augusta.
Yeah. They got stuff going on there. They minister. They're even hoping they can start a homeless shelter with a building down there. So.
And there is that homeless ministry in Bangor. What's Grace?
Grace Abundant.
Grace
They
Abundant.
started up the Brick
Yeah.
Church.
The Brick Church.
does
Yeah,
it,
the Brick Church is a big one. Yeah.
They're taking like 30 a night now. They're doing overnights.
Yep.
There's Jericho Road.
Yep.
In there too. So there's some ministries. If you're in those particular areas, you ask. Any of these ministries love to have you hitch horses with them. You can go along and figure out how it's done and whatever you can do. If you go, I don't have much to bring. Can you make a sandwich? If you got some bread and stuff, just make a sandwich. Take a sandwich.
I totally respect not wanting to go by yourself, and you probably shouldn't, right? Just go with a group of people. But I mean, you don't need a lot. Like we made 400 sandwiches.
The last when we went down to Portland, we had
400
No, we had
sandwiches.
700 sandwiches.
Was it?
Was it?
It was 700 sandwiches.
We bought 40 loaves,
and we did 700
and
sandwiches.
it took a couple hours. to make
300
the
hot
sandwiches.
dogs.
Yeah, and we just went and we just let God lead.
Yep.
And we actually got to the point where we ran out of food and had to tell somebody we didn't have any more.
On that first trip with the
And
sandwiches.
then
Yeah.
I remember
That was the
Pastor-
only time. It never happened again, though.
I remember you saying that will never happen again.
No.
Yeah,
and
the
it
second
has
time I
not.
remember.
And it hasn't. No, we usually come home with spare food that
Oh,
we
yeah.
have to cook the next day or
Yeah,
it'll go bad.
Absolutely.
So yeah, hot dogs and nobody has. And I thank God. God ensures that nobody leaves our mobile unit without food.
Amen.
That they get food, they get clothes, they get tents, they get tarps,
Tops.
they get
Sanitary
We're going to do
items.
snow shovels when the campers come back.
Yeah, we got snow shovels,
Pass
yeah.
out snow shovels.
yeah,
Nobody should go off hungry.
We just keep adding on to the list.
we do.
And people say, well, what can you use? Well, I say, what can you use? If you can use it, they can use it.
Well, I mean,
You know,
yeah,
that's how you
because
figure
we
it
didn't
out.
know. I remember when we went to that first one in Marginal Way, they asked us, "Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this?" I said,
Yep.
"No, all we have is food and water. But if you can tell me what you need," we ended up buying a few tents
And a bicycle.
and a bicycle that
Bunch of
day.
stuff. Yep.
And then they told us we need tarps, we need duct tape, we need
Yep.
string.
String.
twine, we need tents, we need sleeping bags, we need water containers, we need things that you don't think of because you have a home,
That's right.
and to me it's like, why do why would you need duct tape? Well, you get a rip in your tent,
Yeah.
you got to fix it, right?
That's right.
So, but yeah, we learned a lot, and now we have quite the list of things we'd like to have. Tents mostly.
Yep.
There's a big request for tents and a big request for backpacks
And tops.
and tarps. We have
Yep.
some tarps, but we could always use more.
Yep.
So if anybody watching this could donate tarps, tents, or sleeping bags, or
or you can just call us.
backpacks.
Yeah, just give us a call.
Or call us, yeah.
207-474-8833. Call us up and go, I got some stuff. Can you use this? We'll tell you.
Yep.
And if there's something special we're looking for, go, if you can pull this off, you and your buddies, we'd be glad to share that with you.
Yeah.
Most of all, thanks for keep watching. Thanks for subscribing.
Mm.
Thanks for hitting
Thank
like.
you.
Thanks for watching the minutes because it's so important for this ministry going forward financially, what you're doing. And please share it. Take it and share it with your people that watch your Facebook page. If everybody shares it, this thing is going all over the world. And it's all because of all you guys are doing. This isn't a one-man show or a two-man show or a one-church show. It ain't a one-pony show. This is a group of people that love Jesus and now have a burden for the folks on the street.
God's people.
So, thanks for watching. Thanks for continuing to watch. Thanks for those that are participating and those that think about participating. And until my next podcast, y'all come back now here.
God
Amen.
bless.